Barry Hunter has officially stepped down as Gervonta Davis's head coach, following the NYSAC's decision to overturn the draw into a win for Lamont Roach.
So that's the deal. That was the genesis.
Tank Davis is always making headlines in boxing. Whether it's because of his powerful knockouts, his intense rivalries, or the drama surrounding his team, people are always talking about him. He has a way of keeping fans excited and waiting for his next big fight. One of the biggest reasons people love watching Tank is his knockout power. He has ended many fights with just one punch, leaving his opponents on the canvas. His speed and strength make him one of the most dangerous fighters in the ring. Every time he steps into a fight, fans expect something explosive to happen. But why is Barry Hunter the lead coach instead of Calvin Ford? Ford has been with Tank Davis since the very beginning of his boxing career. He has always been in his corner, helping him train and improve. So, it surprised many fans when they saw Hunter leading instead. It turns out that Ford decided to take a break before the fight against Lamont Roach. This was unexpected because Ford has always been a big part of Tank's success. He has trained him for years, shaping him into the champion he is today. Without Ford, things feel a little different for Tank's team. From the time Tank Davis was just an amateur boxer, Calvin Ford was always by his side. He trained him, guided him, and helped him become one of the most feared knockout artists in the sport. Ford was a great mentor, always making sure Tank was ready for anything. But now, Ford is not in Tank's corner. With his absence, Barry Hunter stepped in to take charge. Hunter is an experienced coach, but this is the first time he has been a lead trainer. Even though he admits that this is new for him, he is willing to take on the challenge. In spite of the change in coaches, Tank's team stayed confident before the fight. They told fans and analysts that nothing had really changed. In their eyes, Tank was still just as sharp, fast, and dangerous as ever. They believed he was ready to put on a great show in the ring. Let's be honest, Tank's record proves how good he is. He has knocked out so many opponents that people expect him to win every time he fights. No matter who is in his corner, he always brings power and skill into the ring. His team knew that and didn't seem worried about the coaching change. Before the fight, most people thought Lamont Roach Jr. would just be another name on Tank's list of knockouts. Roach was a skilled and tough fighter, but most people didn't think he could really challenge Tank. Many believed he would struggle against such a powerful and experienced champion, but things didn't go the way people expected. On March 1st, Roach surprised everyone with his performance. He didn't just try to survive, he fought back and gave Tank a real challenge. Fans were shocked to see him keep up with the undefeated champion and even make the fight more competitive than expected.
I took a knee because I had a bet on the fight for there to be at least one knockdown. But this ref sold my parlay, man.
Nobody thought a fighter who wasn't as famous as Tank could match his speed and skill. But Roach proved that he was not someone to overlook. His effort in the ring showed that he was stronger and tougher than people gave him credit for. From the very first rounds, Roach was doing really well. He landed clean punches, kept up with Tank's speed, and most importantly, didn't let the moment get to him. Instead of backing down, he stood his ground and fought with confidence. On the other side, Tank didn't look like his usual self. He seemed unsure and didn't have the same power and explosiveness that made him such a dangerous fighter. Fans were surprised to see him hesitate instead of taking control like he normally does. As the fight went on, it was clear that this was not the Tank Davis fans were used to seeing. He didn't have the same energy, speed, or power that made him so dangerous in past fights. Instead of controlling the fight, he struggled to keep up.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. Definitely might say it in a minute.
Some of Tank's past opponents were not impressed. Ryan Garcia, who suffered a tough and embarrassing loss to Tank, was especially surprised. He couldn't believe that a less experienced fighter like Roach was able to outmatch Tank in the ring. Ryan Garcia said that losing to Tank was embarrassing for him. But now, he believes Tank has suffered even more humiliation, even though he wasn't officially the loser. This fight made Tank look weaker than before, and Garcia was quick to point that out. Garcia is confident that if he ever gets the chance to fight Roach, he will not only win, but also knock him out. He sees this as something Tank failed to do, which makes him believe he is the better fighter. Beating Roach would prove that he is stronger than Tank. Now, one of the most shocking moments of the fight happened in the 9th round, when Tank unexpectedly took a knee, claiming his eye was irritated.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaning with right.
The referee gave Tank time to recover, but by then, the fight had completely shifted in Roach's favor. In the later rounds, Roach kept pushing forward, while Tank struggled to land the knockout punch that had made him famous. This was supposed to be an easy win, a tune-up fight to keep Tank active and set the stage for a bigger showdown later in the year. Instead, he barely escaped with a draw, leaving fans and analysts questioning his performance. Barry Hunter spoke about the fight in the post-fight interview. He didn't try to make excuses and was very honest about what went wrong. Tank lost focus during the fight, and that was a big problem. His words were tough, but many people agreed with him. Tank had never looked this unsure before. In the past, he had fought through tough situations, faced harder punchers, and beaten skilled boxers. No matter what, he always found a way to win. But this time, something was different. For the first time, Tank struggled against a fighter many thought wasn't on his level. Some people couldn't help but notice that this was also the first fight where Calvin Ford wasn't in his corner. It made fans wonder if Ford's absence had more of an effect on Tank than they expected. Was Tank's struggle really because Calvin Ford wasn't there? Or was it the pressure of knowing Roach had a real chance to beat him? Either way, one thing is clear. Tank did not live up to the performance he promised at the press conference. Fans expected dominance, but what they got was a champion who looked uncertain in the ring. Fans and analysts examined every moment of the fight, searching for answers. Some blamed Tank's training camp, while others believed he underestimated Roach. Many, however, pointed directly at Barry Hunter. The biggest debate became whether Hunter had truly prepared Tank for this fight, or if his coaching had played a role in the champion's struggles. But that no longer matters, as Barry Hunter has officially cut ties with Tank. He hasn't given many details beyond his comments about Tank's lack of focus. But one thing is certain, the partnership didn't work. Now with no trainer in his corner, Tank is actively looking to reunite with Calvin Ford. But is this really the best move for Tank as he looks ahead? What are your thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments below.